Yo, welcome back to the Law Library with TA and Y Kim. My brother, may he rest in peace. Tonight, again, we have our special guest, Miss Ladybug. We're going to go back and divulge back into the case in the episode of Citizens versus Cops. There's new development, new footage on that we're going to talk about. And also, I want to make a correction in my error. So I'm going to take the few minutes right now to make a correction in my error that I made in that show. In that show, I told you in the state of New York, you did not need to carry ID. I mean, that you had to carry ID. But I went back, my brother came to me in my head and said, yo, man, go back and correct that. Google it. And I did that. So the actual law is in the state of New York, what it says is in New York, you are not required to carry ID, and you don't have to show ID to a police officer. But if you are issued a summons or arrested, however, and you refuse to produce ID or tell them who you are, tell the police who you are, the police may detain you until they properly identify you. So that's pretty much what I was thinking about when I first said, yeah, you got to show ID because that'll allow you to keep moving. But the actual law is that you don't have to show them ID. Now, how long they going to detain you or what reason they going to claim they're detaining you, whether they think you committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or had already committed a crime, all these other factors come into play. But the actual law in the state of New York is you do not have to produce your ID for a police officer.
Okay, that's good
All
to
right?
know.
And if you don't believe me, and TA's not here now, Lord bless his soul, Google it like he said.
Well, can I ask you something before I interrupt?
Sure you can.
So, do I got a case? Yeah, they took my ID, they made it a big deal, came to the passenger side.
Well, you definitely have a case already.
Come on,
Okay.
they refused to give me
They
email.
refused you medical service.
State troopers.
Okay, now let me give you this because that's a part of what I'm reading. So now it says that it was talking about the police. Okay, if you are stopped in a car, now this is New York, although your situation and I think Jersey is similar, but I ain't gonna jump out there.
Okay.
But he wasn't the driver.
But let me just, okay. But here it is. In New York, if you are stopped in your car, upon arrest, show the police your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, right?
Right.
In certain cases, your car can be searched without a warrant. That's deep. We're going to have to talk about it.
We have to definitely talk about that. That's violation of rights. That's crazy.
Well, that's what they're saying in certain circumstances. So
But
now,
what are the circumstances?
it doesn't list, but there's case law obviously on it.
Obviously.
There's like I know one extreme circumstances if they witness you actually running into a vehicle from after committing the crime, the police sees this. I know he could go in
And you have the goods
see-
in your hand.
if you don't see the goods, or if you see the crime happening over there and the goods disappear in between.
That don't mean search me. My crime wasn't stealing. My crime was I hit somebody in the head.
Right, but the
So
question.
I guess I got to stick ahead of once. I'm going to shut up.
Okay. So, anyway, it says if you stopped in the car, you got to produce these documents:
Okay.
the driver's license, insurance, proof of insurance, your registration, right? And to protect yourself later, you should state that you do not consent to a search.
All right.
Right? So when the police pull you over, they hit you with that dumb shit. When the police pull you over, they normally hit you with that dumb shit depending on how you appear to them. Like, oh, he got a little gray in his beard, I can't pull his bullshit on him. Or a young gentleman that's now starting to drive our sons or our nephews, and he look young in the face, he don't even look baby face, not even 21 maybe, but he's driving or whatever. I'm gonna search your car. And they don't have the wherewithal right at that time
Right.
to say no. Then you tell me through my life experience, yeah, you could do that as long as you got a warrant.
Okay.
You ain't got no warrant, you're not searching it. Now don't try to pull out any piece of paper clipped to a clipboard because I'm gonna need to read that. I'm gonna need to see that. I need to see a signature from
From
a
a judge.
or something. If you don't got one and you really want to search it, and this is something that they can do, they can stop right then and there and get what's called a telephonic warrant. They could call, yo, I got this dude stopped. He was coming out the back of Burger King. I don't know, I seen a Nike sneaker fall off something that was wrapped in a wrapper. I think it's a body. He's telling me I can't search the trunk. Let me tell Judge John Smith that this is Billy Boy. Sign that joint so we can see what's in his trunk. So he could call and get one. So that's what's happening with that.
Thank you.
You know.
Wow. It's good to know.
Right. So
Very
you,
useful.
Right. So you go on the website, the ACLU. I think that's the American Civil Liberties Union or unit or whatever it is with the U. American Civil Liberties Union. I believe that's what it is. Like I said, don't. I ain't jumping out there with the.
I got you.
All
I
these
got you.
acronyms.
These acronyms are new. I got it.
1,000 acronyms, y'all.
For everything.
And I'm over 40, so I'm fucked up a little bit. You heard?
I'm over 40, so.
But the point is, what I want to say is, what I want to tell y'all is that when you have police encounters, it's my belief that if you know what I'm saying, you ain't got nothing to hide, don't cop no attitude, don't get nasty or whatever. I mean, you can say what you want to say because you still got the First Amendment right.
Okay.
Yo, what the fuck you stopping me for, man? I gotta go to fucking work. Yo, watch what you say. Fuck you, First Amendment. Yo, I want to check you for weapons. Fuck you, Fourth Amendment. Did I commit a crime? Do you think I committed a crime? Did somebody tell you I committed a crime? No. So the answer to you is no, too. No, you can't search me. You're not digging into my pockets. Do you got any sharp objects? That's none of your fucking business what I got. You know? You
Can-
get a little funky or whatever.
Can I
However
ask
you
a
wanna handle
question about that?
it. Sure.
Okay, my question is just this. For myself, and as well as for our listeners and our viewers.
Okay.
Okay, I know we have the right to do that,
To do what?
theoretically.
Which
To
one?
like be like, if there's no warrant, did you see me commit a crime? Did anybody call you to say I personally committed a crime? Do you have any suspicion or evidence that I did something wrong that leads you to search me?
Right.
I know theoretically we can do that, and legally we can do that.
Right.
But my question is it your opinion, or not your opinion, that makes the situation more difficult in some cases?
It can. That's why I'm saying I use the analogy of the younger man in his in his 20s maybe, middle-aged person. It depends on their knowledge base, which I'm hoping they're getting this knowledge now.
Right.
That's what I'm here to do, is teach this knowledge.
Right.
And it could be an older person that has experience with repeated run-in with law enforcement, or an ex-felon, you know, who's been through the system and
Right.
sat down and read this shit in these books like I
get
did
it.
or whatever. So it depends on the facts and circumstances, you know. But who has the wherewithal to think at that time?
Exactly.
The
And that's where my
average
question
Joe,
comes in.
The average Joe does not have the wherewithal
I know I don't.
to think of that, you know. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means you didn't have that much contact. For an old fogey like me, I'm
I'm
like,
not playing that.
dude, where's your ID? What the fuck you want to know? I don't know none of that. The conversation they try to get, where you coming from? The fuck you worrying about that for?
Nah, see, but that makes it bad.
You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm just saying.
But that's my fear, and that's the
It could-
thing. And I
right.
feel like, and for me, I'm stuck in a catch-22 because I have sons. Okay?
Okay.
I have sons.
Right.
And my sons have all been athletes, so they're outside. Their games can be anytime, can be any location. They can
Okay,
play.
yeah.
They play in out of state. They have travel teams that they're on.
Okay.
So I'm always like, just cooperate. And sometimes they agree, but other times they're like, nah, I'm being harassed. They're like, Ma, you wrong. That's your area. That's how you think. And I'm like, and
Okay.
then I'm balancing it out. Like, you know what? I'm not saying
He's
they're
right.
wrong,
He's right.
but I'm scared because so many of us
You're the parent.
get killed.
Right.
It's not, forget going to jail. I mean, even if I don't got the money, I'm gonna come out with the money to bail you out or get you a lawyer.
Right.
But
Okay.
God forbid, if your life is taken, there's nothing I can do but say goodbye.
Yeah, you can't be-
And I can't come back from that. I mean, you're obviously not coming back, but I know I can't come back from that. So and it's wrong that I'm projecting my personal fears sometime on them,
No,
because it's like, am I making a situation worse? Because say they're in a car, like my oldest son, he has a driver's license. He drives. He's 26.
okay.
He's well over 6 feet tall. He's a black male.
They
Okay.
just say they were scared. No.
You understand where I'm coming from? He's an educated
dude,
black male, college degree
Okay.
from a Catholic university. But at the same time, he's a black male. He's of this era. So, yeah, my son has a lot of hair. Sometimes it's braided. Sometimes it's out loose. He has a beard. He's over 6 feet tall. Like, he could always fit the description for lack of a better way to put it, because that's
But if he's educated, then he should be able to handle
this
the
is the
situation.
problem. He's educated and he's
Right.
extremely articulate,
Oh,
but
well.
sometimes,
They
he's
don't wanna
been
hear that.
through it so many times.
What, stopped by the police?
Stopped by the police, a situation going on. Like, I'm from Jamaica, Queens, but my children were raised in New Jersey. First half, Bergen County. The
They got
last
police
8 years,
there.
we've been in Essex County in the hood.
They got police there.
No, I mean, in the hood. So it's the same thing as if my kids was living. It's the equivalent of if my kids were still in South Jamaica. You get where I'm coming from? So in the hood, but it's met with aggression. You get, so my fear is sometimes, and so it's happened to him multiple times. Sometimes he's okay. Sometimes he's frustrated. He's angry because it's like, I obviously did nothing wrong. And I'm like, but you got to be calm. You got to, and I just feel guilty at the same time.
Guilty of what?
I feel guilty
what
that okay, by me telling, this is how I feel guilty, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only woman that feels this way, especially when us as black women, I'm not saying that we don't encounter situations, because we do, and as of recent, our lives have been taken just as easily as our counterparts. But more often, it is our brown and black brothers that experience it. So as a mother or a wife, a girlfriend, a loved one, to tell a black man, oh, just get over it, or just go along with it, just whatever, you do feel like you're telling him to belittle himself, to degrade himself, to accept below human treatment.
I actually disagree with you.
But to hear me out, just give me a chance to make this make sense, okay? Then you can put your. What I mean by that is, if you're coming home from doing a 12-hour shift, and you happen to live in the projects, let's say you live in 40 projects, and you got to get off at Parsons and Archer, the E train, and then you have to, then you do that walk from the project from Archer to the projects, and it's like you work the graveyard shift. So it's the wee hours of the morning when you're getting up. So it's at that twilight time when it's in between, which could be criminal considered activity times as outward world would look at it. And you're dressed urban and look a little bit rugged. And you get stopped. You are going to be stopped more aggressively than if somebody that did not fit your same description, same built, in the same type of area, same type of community. You are going to be dealt with differently. So if this has happened to you one time, I could say that. But if this has happened, if this is the 7th occasion within the last year that you've been stopped, 7 occasions in 1 year, that is more than half the time. That puts more than, out of 12-month year, 7 times, that's more than half the year that you've been stopped. So let's say at one time a month.
Okay.
That's a lot. So if what I'm telling you, well, be calm, just answer their questions, don't disrespect them. I sound crazy because it's like, yo, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know how that feels to be degraded. They make you take everything out your pocket. They searching you down. People walking by you, driving past you, looking at you as though you're a criminal and you did something wrong. But I'm saying, I want you to live. So just calm down. I do know that a man can easily feel like she don't get where I'm coming from. And that causes problems in people's family lives.
Okay, but listen. Let's bring this back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, if this is, we just said in New York, you don't have to produce ID. So the other half of it is, right, is that you can, you gotta, okay, you said something about degrading. I don't know what y'all.
Some people feel degraded by it. Some people do feel.
I'm talking about your son. Did he tell you that?
Oh, okay. I was paraphrasing. My son. No, I've been with my son, and I felt degraded.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you a problem. This past summer, cops stopped me from my car. I'm in New Jersey. I'm driving. I'm the driver. You understand me? I made a wrong turn. Okay, I made a turn that I should have signaled for. I didn't. I was in the wrong or whatever. And I'll say that.
Okay.
When they pulled us over, my son had just took his braids out. My son was wearing corn braids. There's a lot of hair. Just took his braids out. He was taking his braids out, leaving his basketball game because he was about to go get it done. So I said, he's in the car and I'm driving, taking out his braids. Cops pull us over. At that time, I lived in Newark, New Jersey. I was in Union, New Jersey, which is a more middle class, more mixed area, but it is predominantly more Caucasian than it is minority.
Do they got black people there?
They have a few, and it's only one police department, only one precinct, and that's all connected together. Okay, now with that, and I freaking that's the area I worked in for a long period of time. That's why I'm in that area. That's where I bank at. I do a lot of things.
Wait, stick to what we talking about.
Okay, no, I'm just describing. I was asking if there are black people in the area, so I'm trying to just give a synopsis of the area. With that being stated, when the cops pulled me over, they started speaking to me at first. Excuse me. I gave them my identification, my driver's license, insurance card, registration. Again, after keeping in one thing, not even in the sunroof. I keep it right there on the dashboard. I can just go like that. They stopped speaking to me and look at him. No, never mind. And literally, never mind you. Who are you? What's your name? How old are you? Give me your ID. And the way they spoke to my son, I was this is Arthur. This is this past summer. I'm offended. And he's told me about encounters he's had that I haven't been there with him. And I'm always telling him, you're doing too much. You need to calm down, because he's angry afterwards. He's like, he has and I'm always telling him, you need to calm down. But I'm his mother. I gave birth. He's huge, but I gave birth to he's a grown man. Okay, he's 26 years old, but that's my baby. And I'm looking at the way they're talking to him is hella disrespectful. How do you stop checking my identification? I'm the driver. I did a wrong turn. He didn't. He a passenger. So I go, and
Let me answer that for you right now, before you go too far. The reason they did that, because he's male, black, and he's a target.
That's the point that I'm making. So that's the you said it. Thank you.
I mean, there's not,
and I appreciate you saying that. And that's the point that
well,
I was making. So us as women, when we tell our husbands, our sons, our boyfriends, oh, it's not that big of a deal, just comply. And they telling us how they feel, the frustration that they carry behind, the feeling of humiliation, because they wound up ultimately arresting my son that night. Because I went the fuck off. I was like, what the fuck is you, excuse my language, what did you talking to him like that? I did something wrong. None of your business who he is. He not the driver. I went off. I was wrong. I did what I tell him 1,000 times don't do. Later on, I felt so stupid. I'm like, it's my, and he's like, Ma, calm down. So then the guy's like, oh, I'll do something. And my son is like, listen, don't do anything. That's my mother. So you're not going to do nothing to her unless you're doing it to both of us? Well, then you're going to need to get out the car. We got to run this. I was like, you don't stay in the car. He said, Ma, you always telling me I can get killed like this? Don't get us both killed. And I had to shut up and be like, wow, he's right.
Okay.
That hurt because I cried. They wound up arresting my son, which gave him resisting arrest, whatever. And they didn't even give me a ticket. I was in the wrong. They told me I'm letting you off with a warning. But you took my son.
What you say to that, Rob?
Because he didn't have his ID on him at the moment. Sorry, I'm going to let you talk. I apologize.
Yeah, because
that hurt.
Okay. I get it. It's an emotional thing.
Right. So, I don't want to cut you off. I'm being rude. I'm so sorry.
You're not being rude. You're being emotional. Calm down a little bit.
Okay.
And I get it, because we all fear for our children's safety. I mean, I get that. So, but like I said, the reason is that he's a male, black, and he's a target. So
I agree.
So, of course, they're going to switch the aim of the weapon from the female, who's less of a threat, to the more threat. Because the first thing, whenever it's an encounter that goes bad with them, the first thing they say is, we fear for our life. Right. Always. That's the main excuse.
Right.
So if he's sitting down, he's over 6 feet, he's already a threat to them.
Right.
You know, he's not under the seat belt, he's under the headrest. His shit is up here. He up here somewhere. Right? So
exactly.
Now, that means if this person, we know the word that they use, if this person was to step out the car, I don't know how much taller he gonna get. I don't know if he could lift me up with one hand or whatever. So let me neutralize this threat. He start fucking with him, you stir him up, and as she said, it got out of control, and he gets arrested.
Because I felt horrible.
So, but now, huh?
I felt horrible.
I heard you, but...
Because at that moment, I felt every conversation we had, every night, every time he's been stopped coming home from a basketball game, coming home from a practice. It was my actions that caused it. I was the person in the wrong. Just like how when you went through your situation, you weren't the driver. Who they put cuffs on? Who they asked for identification from?
That's
They didn't
because
ask.
the same situation.
And it's the same. And it's the same state.
Listen.
Remember this. This is old New Jersey.
It's not about the state.
It's not the state. I'm just giving an
Well,
example. I'm not trying to blame a state. Please, guys, disclaimer: I'm not blaming the state of New Jersey.
Okay.
I love New Jersey.
Okay, so again, that was a good example because in that case, it was the same thing. A female driver, male black in the passenger seat. So they took the focus off the female once again, who represents the lesser threat, and put it on the male black.
Yeah.
You ain't no little guy right there, fat boy. Ain't that what you call yourself, fat boy? So you, so you ain't no little guy.
Facts.
So
But I was
it
asleep
could
while you
be.
doing that. I was asleep actually.
Okay, but you still, he looking in for his safety. He gonna say that. He got that right. Is anybody in there can move around and reach something? Am I gonna get blasted tonight? I get their side. I'm not, saying I don't get their side. Threats. But wait a minute. You trying to tell me that you ain't never been nowhere around the store or nothing with a fat boy?
Exactly.
You don't have no social skills to get along with a fat boy?
Right.
Or a tall black young man, you don't go to Walmart, or the Walmart you go to don't have black people in it.
Exactly.
What we doing here? You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So you coming from the suburbs, and anything bigger than you, taller than you, wider than you, or darker than you fucking scared of. Then you need to stay the fuck where you was at. You feel me? You need to stay where
Exactly.
you was at because you running around, you doing the job, you got to encounter people in the public. People in public come in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
And if you're a public servant, you have to remember
You feel
you
me?
are a public servant. You're
don't
supposed to
remember
be
that.
there to protect and serve, not
not
to
doing
make
none of
people
that.
feel demonized and criminalized. And I want to make
that's
this
the
clear.
culture. That's
No,
the
but
culture.
this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna state this, okay, off the rip. I'm gonna state this.
What's that?
It's easy for us, just like it's easy for them to blanketly accuse us and demonize us and criminalize us. It's easy for us to demonize them. And what I mean by that is
Big difference.
every cop is just like everybody that live in the hood is not participating in
The bullshit.
exactly.
that's
Secondly,
true.
every cop is not just looking for another brown and black face to attack, criminalize, and humiliate, and demonize, and make and just say that you fit the. And the reason I'm gonna say this is because I personally, and this is not just distant lover, because I got some relatives that I know is in the police force, and some I'm cool with, some I'm not. But I have very close friends. My best friend Tanil Williams, okay, she's on the New York City Police Department. Her father died serving New York City cops, and she's not that type. Her father was not that type. Her father coached and mentored the kids on Liberty Avenue, Liberty Park. You can, so I'm not saying it in a bad way. So I don't ever want it just to sound like I hate cops. I'm against cops, because I'm not. I'm against people having poor judgment.
But you know what? Back then, with that,
It was community policing. You knew who the police was. It
And
was
we
a
had
regular-
crooked cops that was jacked up then too. We had good and bad too. We had cops that was on the shake. We had.
But wait,
I
stop,
feel like
stop,
anytime you
hold on,
have.
Hold on, wait, I didn't cut you off. Wait. The ones you talking about, like at Liberty Park and the sports teams and with the youth and the connection,
Right.
right? They come from the community, so they had a connection.
Absolutely.
So
And I agree with that point.
It was different, and at that time, it was different. In our area, he's retired now. Everybody know Officer Berry in South Jamaica.
Right, exactly. And
But
but also
basketball
remember
game, you know what
remember
I'm
his
saying?
story as well.
Yeah,
So like
but look-
I'm like, there is a balance.
But here's what you're missing, and here's what needs to be known. There is a very high percentage of those who wear blue uniforms in the city of New York. I don't care if they just got to this country. I don't care if they come from India. They got, diversity in the police department. We got that, right? But the sons of those of the systemic and systematic racism, you're gonna never change them. You're not gonna never change their point of view. We talk about generational trauma. it's generational poison in their minds. So they ain't gonna
That's a
never.
fact.
They're not gonna never
Classism.
change.
They call it in other countries
It's
and
not-
cultures. It's called
but we're not-
classism.
but we're not in other countries. and
I'm
we're
not saying. I'm just trying to just make it make sense for people that don't understand what we
I'm
mean.
gonna explain. It's those who used to run around with the white hoods, aka Ku Klux Klan, whose job was to suppress, even if it killed black people, suppress our people.
Right.
Their grandson, great grandsons, they changed the hood and they put on the blue uniform. So we talking about two different peoples.
I get
Right,
it.
right,
I
right.
get
Are
it.
doing one certain job, so they do it differently. You ain't gonna never get rid of the ones that killed George Floyd. You ain't gonna never get rid of the ones that killed Sean Bell. You ain't gonna never get rid of them. They was there first. Obviously, the Italian,
I don't
that's
see it
their
getting no
roots.
better. I don't see it
Say
getting
that again?
I don't see nothing getting no better.
It's not getting better. It's getting worse, bro. And I was listening.
What do we do about that, right? Just follow suit when we get.
Well, right now, my position is, and this is something me and my brother T.A. used to debate about. I say, the people she's talking about, the people that you talking about, the people I'm talking about, the Officer Berries that was involved in the basketball game, ISA, IS-72, all those who came out, the one that was on the corner when you came out, your mother came out, walked to the bus stop, there was no problem, they had to duck no stray bullets, wasn't getting robbed. We knew, yo, you want something to eat, you need a cup of coffee or
Right.
whatever. It's cold outside, you want some chicken noodle soup or whatever.
Right.
Them days is gone. So what I'm saying is, the only way it come back in our community
Is if we bring it back.
is that we teach our kids that it's all right to do better. It's
Yes.
all right to be a part of the system.
Yes.
It's all right to not get in trouble.
Yes.
It's all right to go to law school.
Yes.
It's all right to try to run for judge. do something in
Absolutely.
your community.
That's the
It's
only way
all
to
right
create change.
to take the test to get on NYPD.
That's right. Be the change you want to see.
Now,
You know, it's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
put the reality in it, though.
What's the reality of it?
Put the reality.
Okay, I'm listening to the reality.
Is this, right? Yeah,
from you, okay.
Right, it's okay, and that's a great way to look at it. Where
Uh-huh.
the kids with direction,
Right.
Right.
but who leading them?
Who leading?
We have to lead them
No,
because nobody's leading them right now. They're not even leading themselves.
So they're not. They're
What?
The TV's leading them.
Okay, right.
Social media is leading them.
You're right, but this is why I'm saying it now. This is on social media.
Drugs is leading them.
Hold on, wait a minute. This is gonna be on YouTube or something, right? Okay. All right. So this is what I'm saying.
No,
I
y'all
mean-
know I can't breathe. I got my asthma pumping. Y'all making me laugh.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna wrap this one up a little bit more. So, but what I'm saying is the lead is social media. We need more people to step up. There's people out there stepping up, and I'll tell you again 1,000 times, King. You know what I mean? Man up. 18 them out there.
Tell 'em made for a king.
100 shoots. TMJ. TMK.
TMK,
right?
tell them made
TM
for a king.
all these brothers is getting involved, man. I'm talking to some brothers from Philly.
And sisters.
And sisters, you right. And sisters, we need the sisters to be social workers, psychologists, all that. Our people is fucked up. And the only way we gonna get unfucked up, you feel me, is if we step up and do it for ourselves. Because the other clear people, light-skinned people, whatever you want to call the other people.
Why you gotta be the light skinned people and there's
trying-
3 light skinned people?
No,
It's
you
like,
the
like,
fake-
like, like,
you
like,
the
like.
fake light-skinned
Okay,
people.
but stick to the clear
I'm
saying.
talking about-
Don't be saying light skin. You
I'm
need to take
trying to-
offense too, fat boy, because you lighter than me. And you got them light eyes. Don't
Okay.
play with me.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the ones lighter.
Because you not pass you passing the brown paper bag.
but he's
You
talking
passing
about
easy.
outside.
But
The other
we got
side.
to stay focused. This is what we talking about. So we got to step up and lead. We got to come back in the communities and speak to these young men and women. We got to tell them the reality of what's out there.
Yes.
There's more to life than the red cup, bro. It's more
Yes.
than life than an E-pill.
Yes.
It's more than life than fentanyl laced weed. And then, oh, I fell out last night. What happened? You OD'd. What? Off of what? I was smoking, yo, and fell out. My man had the Narcan and brought me back. Where you brought that at? That's that old dope fiend shit. Hope to die dope fiend. Dope fiends dropped dead. Wait, who had that bag? I need
And they run to
that.
get it. That's the bag they
Right.
want.
So we got to change that direction. We got to
Definitely.
change that narrative, and step up. You feel me? You got to step up, and you got to be active. You can't sit around and talk about it. I work at the drug program. I work with young kids as a mentor. I'm trying to do the best I can because I got a whole fucking tractor trailer of dirt that I done did. You feel me? So now I'm trying to clean that shit out, man, and just try to show somebody what highway to go on to get further than I got. To get our people back together,
Right.
get our minds fucking back.
Right.
Louis Vuitton don't give a freak about you, bro.
At all. At all.
Now you run around with Louis Vuitton and you ain't got nowhere to live. How logical is that?
You ain't even been to the doctor in 5 years. But
Yo.
you spending $5K on a bag. But you ain't been to the doctor.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the doctor to get your body done. That don't count.
Well,
You have not been to, haven't had a physical to know if you got high blood pressure, diabetes. You over 35 and you a woman and you've never had a mammogram done,
We can talk
but you've
about that.
got butt injections. That's a problem.
we can talk about it.
That's the same society that, but no, because this is
There's no
all of
law
us
against that,
together.
though.
I'm not saying a law. I'm saying we have to find out what is important is outside what people looking at important, or is the reality that we're living in important? Because we're dying every day to impress people. But what's impressive is when you can see somebody from your community that is trying to make a change. We should encourage that, not disencourage it. But we will celebrate somebody who's about to go away to prison and do 10 years because they didn't snitch. But we will sit there and laugh at the young man who's about to graduate, who's about to go to college, that should have a going away party and stuff. Oh, that nigga think he about to be better than us. That's not right. We gotta fix that. And it all is part of the same systematic system. Because us women that are doing this, we're doing this to attract a certain type.
Doing what?
That we are not taking care of us as a whole, as people. Men, okay, this is something I learned early on. 80% of what men do have to do with women. Okay?
That is a whole nother conversation.
But what I'm saying is this: if the men in our community saw the women in our community went and deal with that type of people, they gonna go and they gonna be like, oh, I ain't trying to bang,
Okay,
I ain't trying to do that. So we need to work together completely, not just and it's not just one versus the other. It has to all be together because 5 fingers make the hand. Not just one or two.
I agree with that 100%.
That's why I say that. I know it sounds off track, but that's
I
where I'm
get it.
bringing it home. Because all of these things play together. Because men is like, so I mean, I say men, I'm talking about these younger men, younger boys, whatever. They
Young
like,
men,
young men.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, I should do this, I should do that. I didn't mean it derogatory.
Okay.
But I'm going to do that and the girls going to think I'm corny. They're not going to mess with me. I ain't gonna get no cheeks that way. Man, you sit down somewhere. You old lady, listen, you past your time, auntie. Auntie, sit down. You're OG. I get what you saying, but that was then, this is now. You get where I'm coming from? So we have to make it one. Let the 5 fingers become the fist and fight.
You do know that when the 5 fingers come together as a fist, they have a target.
Yes.
It's a purpose behind that.
Absolutely.
So when you close your fist and you fighting, it's a reason, because otherwise,
yes.
What's the difference between if I close my fist and punch somebody in the face, or if I leave my hand fist open and smack them? It's a difference.
Yeah.
So it's the reason why the 5 fingers got to come.
Yes.
And then there's a target that they got to go after.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Law Library, YK TA. May my brother rest in peace. My special guest, Ladybug.
Good night.
We're going to say good night and peace.
Peace.